Hi guys. Hey, I recently did a review of Outbound Lighting's Portal Downhill package. I'm really a fan of that lighting setup. I've been hearing a lot of chatter about Magicshine's Monteer 5000S. It's a 5000 lumen light. I ended up buying one. I want to try this out. I want to give you some feedback on how it compares. It's a bar mounted light. I believe you might be able to figure out how to mount it up to your helmet as well, but I'm going to mount it up on the bars and see how it compares. So I'll get it mounted up, I'll get it charged up, mounted up, and then I'll give you some feedback, what I think. My years of night riding has taught me that a lumen is not a lumen is not a lumen, and that two lights that have the same lumen rating can give you vastly different performance out on the trail. What I'm going to discuss is how this light performs in real-world experience, what it looks like on the trail, how it compares to other lights as far as lighting up the trail, eliminating shadows, and being able to get throw down the trail as well as visibility into the periphery. Okay, let's see what's in the box. We have the light, and that light is, okay, not a plug-in adapter, it's permanently plugged in there. Then we have the battery. And there's the battery pack. And we have a mount right there. So, two Velcro straps for mounting the battery. Three adapters for different size bars for your bar mount. And here's the USB cable for the battery charging. The cable for to plug into the battery to the light. And then we have a little instruction user manual and an Allen key. So there's what it comes with. Okay, we're starting to charge it up. Getting that little plug off there that covers the USB-C was a little bit of a challenge. I mean, I don't have fingernails right now, but that was a bit of a challenge to get that off. Okay, that's the Monteer 5000S on as high as it can go. Okay. Okay, that's the Monteer 5000S on as high as it can go. Now I'm going to turn on my MB6. Hi guys, let's talk Magicshine's Monteer 5000S. Got a chance to get it charged up, get it mounted up on my bike, and get it out on the trail so I could test it. As I pulled the light out of the box, you know, the initial impression was that it seemed like a pretty well built light. The head unit itself, the light unit itself, was relatively light. It's intended to be a bar mounted light, so that's somewhat irrelevant, but should you choose to mount it up on your helmet, it wouldn't be, you know, something that you'd notice up there. It was a light, you know, lightweight unit. The battery was small and compact and comes with the included Velcro straps to be able to attach it. Has an anti-slip material mounted on the battery, which is great. Keeps the battery in place. The mount's solid, doesn't jostle around, doesn't scratch up your frame. So, you know, that was well done. The comes with a 2-year warranty. That warranty, you know, helps ensure that if there's anything wrong with the light, that they'll cover it, either repair it or replace it. So, you know, that's pretty great. Talking about beam pattern, beam quality. So it's a really white beam. It lights up really well down trail. The throw projection down trail was definitely adequate. It's 5,000 lumens. It lights the place up. An area where it struggled compared to other lights that I've tested was in beam width. So projecting the beam out into the periphery and out into the sides of the trail. This one was more narrowly focused downstream and didn't project as well out to the side. Beam width was less than some of the other units that I've tested. Some of the other units I've tested, just for comparison purposes, outbound lightings, Evo and Portal lamps, and then also the full-on lighting MB6. Those do a really nice job of dispersal and beam width. This one didn't quite do as well as that. Pricing on this unit. Price of this unit and the price point is really reasonable. I've just seen them on sale for about 180 bucks, which is pretty good for a 5,000 lumen light. Some of the challenges that I had with the light, some of the drawbacks that I saw. First of all, the light is hardwired. The dongle coming out of the back to attach to the battery, it's hardwired into the light. That's a flex point of the light. That cable's bouncing up and down as you're riding on the trail, and that is going to end up being a wear point because that cable continues to flex and bend. Eventually, those wires are going to break. My preference would have been like a USB-C connection or another connection into the back of that light. That's what I've seen on other lights, and they have some really good strain relief on where that cable attaches to the light, because that is going to be a weak point on this light. So if this cable breaks, that light shot. So that was a concern to me right off the bat. Another challenge that I had was they've got some silicone caps on the battery. Those silicone caps were almost impossible for me to get out. I don't have any fingernails. I tried and tried to get them out with ungloved hands. There's no way you're getting them off with gloves on. So I don't have any fingernails, as I mentioned, so trying to get under there and get those things out was impossible. So I ended up using a butter knife to kind of pry them up and get them off. Those cover where you need to attach to your cable to go up to your light, and also to charge it with the USB-C. So you have to get those on and off all the time. I think that a good improvement for the designers of this light would be to put some pretty significant tabs on there, or an undertuck that you could get and lift that cover out of there. Because it's nice to have the waterproofing, but you got to be able to get them out of there, and that was really difficult. Another thing was a 9-hour charge on the battery. With the 2-hour, I saw 90 minutes to 2 hours. I saw um, different claims from them on different literature that I read. But when you're talking 9 hours to charge the battery up, and then you're talking 90 minutes to 2 hours on high to burn it down, that would be concerning to me in a situation where you're like in an endurance race, 24-hour race. You'd have to have multiple batteries to back this thing up. And when you're in a race, reliability is critical. And having a battery that's charged, you need your battery charged up in the amount of time that it takes for that battery to deplete. One of the other things I found really challenging with this light, there's 15 different modes. There's 3 different settings that activate different LED arrays in the light. And those 3 different arrays have 5 different settings, going from low to medium, high to flash setting. So to me, that's overkill. I want simplicity. I want big button that I can manipulate through the modes. I want a excuse me, like a low setting for working around the truck, for getting things ready. I want maybe a medium setting for riding up the trail that lights it up pretty good. I don't need a ton of illumination riding up the trail. But then I want something, just some part of the sun coming down. Okay, I want it really, really bright. So, that when you've got 15 different modes, I found that there was such minor nuances between the modes. I had a really hard time discerning where I was and getting from step to step, from tier 1 to tier 2 to tier 3. You're supposed to double click, and it was really difficult for me to try and get the right clicks, to get to that array, to get to that setting, to get it up to the higher settings. Then they have a flash mode, which I'm not sure from a mountain biking perspective what that would be useful for. I could see that should I run into a cougar or a bear on the trail, it would scare the hell out of them. It might be a really good application for that. If I could hurry and flip into the stun flash mode. But other than that, I'm not sure what, application that has from a mountain biking perspective. Now, I know these are used for road biking and other things as well, but I'm looking at it from a mountain biking perspective and from a race perspective, endurance race perspective. So, all in all, price point on this light is good. I think it's a reasonable price for a good bright light. If your intention is to ride at night with your buddies out on the trail, and you want to light the place up, this is a great light for that, for fat biking, for trail riding on your mountain bike. It has good throw down trail. But as a light that I would want for endurance racing, I would probably pass on this light. I need a light that charges up quick. I need a light that, illuminates the periphery. I would have to use a headlamp, a headlight mounted on my helmet with this light in order to feel confident, in a high-speed situation where there's a lot of twists and turns. And that cable is concerning to me. But I think, you want to get into a really bright light for a reasonable price. I think that this one could be one that would fill that need. So anyway, if you have any questions or comments, or you have other lights that you are really liking and that you're using that have given you, good performance out on the trail, I'd be so interested in hearing about them. That's how I've heard about a lot of these lights that I'm testing, is from feedback and commentary on different sites and in my comment section. So love to hear about what you're using, what's working good for you. Love to hear comments on, the testing that I've done or questions that you have. And then also, if you found this useful, please subscribe to my channel, give me a like, give me a share. Helps me out a ton. I hope this has been useful for you, and hope you get out there and have some fun. That's what we buy this gear for, is to get out there and use it and have some fun. So get out there.